Hey guys, Mike here with Jeeps on the Run, and you know we love Mopar. We obviously do a lot with Jeep. We've talked a lot about electrification on this channel, so we're a little more diverse than just Jeep specifically. Today we're talking about the Ram 2500 HD. So just a few days ago, Stellantis released a little teaser saying, all right, we know that people are talking about it, so let's give you a picture in preview to the full reveal that's coming soon. So let's talk about what we know about the Ram 2500 and what we're waiting to hear about. So the first question that's on everyone's mind is what's going to power this Ram? We know the V8 Hemi is gone out of the 1500. It's an inline twin turbo 6-cylinder, which by the way, I was really impressed with when I drove that. So don't be totally discouraged, but I'm not quite sure I'd want an inline 6 twin turbo in my Ram 2500 HD. We know previously we had a 6.4 Hemi and we had two versions of the 6.7 turbo diesel Cummins motor. So what is coming for 2025? I think we can sure bet we're going to see an increased, I'm sure more horsepower, more torque in that Cummins motor. It seems to be what they're doing. These Cummins motors are putting out over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. It's crazy. Previously, I owned a 2500 Ram. It was, to date, one of my most favorite trucks, short of my current TRX. So Ram has done a great job. I had a 2018 Ram 2500 with the Cummins motor. Absolutely loved that truck. The only reason we got rid of it is I wasn't hauling anything big anymore. So Car and Driver just released an article talking a little bit about what we're going to talk about here today. So some information on there. I'll post a link to that article as well. But there's three versions of this, three images of this truck that are kind of spreading all over the internet. This white Ram, which is kind of believed to be the Tradesman Edition or a chassis cab, it's going to be more of what we think is going to be that entry level. You're going to have a little different grille than the higher trim levels, more blacked out up front, and even incandescent headlights. Come on, in 2025, I think LEDs should be standard across the board, period. On all cars, all manufacturers, all trim levels. There is no reason we are still putting candlelight bulbs in cars anymore. It is 2025. I gotta think at some point it's probably even more expensive to put incandescents in these trucks than or in any vehicle than an LED. But the base model is what we know is still gonna have incandescent lights. So what's your thought on the restyle? Looks like we've got some thinner headlights, kind of divided up. You know, the one thing I've been reading already is people are like, oh, it's ugly. You know, everyone said the same thing about the Silverado when it came out. You know, there was this meme going around about the Silverado with this upside down face and the mirrors, and everyone loves the Silverado. I think that we talk about this in a lot of our videos. People don't like change. And I think when you first see it, it's just not what you're used to. I personally think the truck looks tough. I like the sleeker headlights. Forever, Ram has had these big headlights. You know, if you go back to what we call the classic Ram, you know, these headlights, they're monstrous, they're big. And as we've been moving forward, even the new Ram RHO, you know, they've slimmed out the headlights. So you kind of try to see they're making that body lines a little more sleek. I like it. I think it looks good. Some of the mumblings on the internet are negative, but again, you know, first of all, it's the internet, and if people don't have anything nice to say, that's where they go. But I think, again, some people just don't like change. But I think that the front end looks tough. As you move through the trim levels from the work truck to the Rebel, you know, on up to the higher ones, you can see the grille changes. You're going to get more body matching, you know, trim accessories. You know, some of the grille accessories start getting chromed out. I'm sure there's going to be opportunity for a night edition of some sort. But you can see, just like the Rams and all the other trims and many vehicles, you get a little less plasticky and you get a little more refined as you move up those trims. And I think we're going to see the same here as we're looking at in these pictures with the new Rams. From the rear of the truck, it doesn't look to see a ton of change. You've got pretty simplistic tailgate here. I don't know if they're going to bring across that multi-function tailgate, which we've seen in the 1500 before, where it opens down and sideways, and it's got about 6 different functions. Ram, I actually really like that multi-function tailgate. I am unfortunately not a fan of the Chevy multi-function tailgate, where it opens up like 9 times, turns into a step, or turns into a table, and Every time I touch one of those Silverados that has that feature, I always push the wrong button and half of it opens. It drives me crazy. So as far as multifunction tailgates go, I do prefer the Ram version of it. So hopefully you'll bring that to the 2500. I think it's pretty slick. Taillights are pretty simple on this. You just got your C-shaped design. I always thought it would be cool to push the taillights into the actual tailgate. I'm sure it can be done. I'm sure there's added expenses, and then there's more stuff to go wrong when you go to remove a tailgate, or it's always opening and closing. But we've got cameras and lights in them now, so why not push those taillights in it? I guess I'm thinking Durango, but obviously something maybe more modernized than what that Durango rear taillight has. But I think that would be kind of cool. But I do like the simplistic design that we've got now on this 2025 HD. Looks like right now from an interior standpoint, they're all going to come standard with at least a 12-inch screen, which is moving up from the 8.4 that was standard on most. You can get the 10.3-inch passenger screen, which allows the passenger to navigate, watch movies, and do a bunch of stuff. We talk about that on our Ram Rebel review. They all will have the option of the 14-inch screen, which is basically the same as the 12-inch screen that we have now. If you, again, watch our 2025 Ram Rebel, you'll see the 14-inch screen. And just some of the actual buttons for trailering and some of the auxiliary power buttons, those actually move into the screen instead of being real buttons. So that screen just kind of pushes up, comes above the dash a little bit. So nothing earth-shattering there. This will be the first time that I guess this isn't confirmed, but I would be shocked if it wasn't, the first time that the interior of the Ram 2500 is going to move to that Gen 5 chassis style that we're seeing on the 1500s. You know, it's kind of interesting. I have a friend who had a new 2500, and the interior of the 2500 is actually quite a bit smaller than my 1500, which is on TRX, which is on the 1500 chassis. The interiors on the new 1500s are awesome, and I'm super excited that we're going to probably be seeing that in the 2500, because the back seat space, the interior space, everything about that interior I think is awesome, and it's moving into 2500 HD now. So there's not a ton of information. We don't even still know when Ram is actually revealing this officially. They said later this year sometime, so I guess we've still got a few months. Have you been waiting for the updated 2025 Ram? I know I've got some friends who are eagerly awaiting for this reveal to purchase one. I think it's a great truck. Obviously, I'm a huge Ram lover. Having said that, I came from Silverado. I was somebody in the camp probably about 8 years ago that said I would never own a Ram. I had a Duramax Silverado, and I went from my Duramax Silverado to my Cummins 2500 Ram. Both great trucks. They both have a place. But Ram's got their new style coming. Their interior is going to be a home run, and I'm super excited. I think everything that they're putting on this chassis is kind of already proven. We've already seen a lot of the technology in the 1500s. So if you're one of those people that waits for the new model year to kind of flush through, which again, I think that's a thing of the past. Do we still do that? I mean, that was always like something I remember growing up as a kid. Like my parents were like, no, we'll never buy the new model year. But like, I don't know. I don't think that's a thing anymore. So at any rate, if you're kind of one of those people, I guess, you know, all the technology that's going into this Ram, I think is technology that is already out, whether it's on the 1500 or, you know, it's technology that's here. It's nothing that's new, which is good. They're taking all the best pieces of the recipe and they're making the perfect cake. So I'm super excited to see the actual reveal and get in one of these. But for now, we're going to look at the pictures and enjoy it. So as always, like and subscribe and let us know what you think about the new Ram 2500 HD. We'll see you in the next video.